Eriksen might have saved his Inter career. Spurs make Di Maria contact as a new leader in the Premier League, a transfer roundup, and today's great debate all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, Christian Eriksen may have saved his Inter Milan career. This after looking for all purposes that he was going to be leaving the club. Last night, a 96th minute free kick saw Inter beat AC Milan in the Coppa Italia quarter-final, and it was a beauty. What I don't get now is Antonio Conte has said, I've said it before, I'll say it again, no one's coming in or out at Inter. Christian Eriksen is a great player and very much part of our project. This is stark contrast to literally everything the club was saying in December about him leaving, about him not being part of it, they'd be open to letting him go, this, that and the other. Suddenly, one free kick and he is banging there. Maybe we could see a complete and utter resurgence. He could be like the most important player. Anyway, talking of important players, last night in that 2-1 victory for Inter, there was a massive argument between Zlatan and Lukaku. There was a foul, which they didn't think was a foul, and then they both went head to head, and then they were both talking shit to each other, and it all kicked off. It was massive. Clearly, it obviously got into Ibrahimovic's head a little bit more than it did Lukaku's, because Ibrahimovic, after giving AC the lead, then went and got sent off for the second yellow card in the second half. After that, Lukaku scores a penalty, has a pretty good game, and then Eriksen gets the winner, and honestly, the almost 40-year-old Swedish footballer is looking a little bit sheepish this morning. Apparently, in all good sportsmanship, he did apologise to his teammates, and so he should. Surely he's learned by now. You can't go, like, if you're winding up a player, fine, but you can't go continuously getting annoyed and working it up in your own head to the point where you get sent off. Zlatan, what a nightmare. Anyway, yeah, Eriksen's career might be back on the cards. Moving on though, and Eriksen's former club Tottenham have made an approach at Angel Di Maria. This an astonishing move for the 32-year-old Argentinian who's out of contract in the summer. There's been lots of talk of Spurs players joining PSG, namely Dele Alli, who's missed the last few Spurs training sessions as he looks to force through a move. But could Di Maria actually be moving to North London? We all remember Angel Di Maria at Manchester United. That was a bit of a shit show, no offence to him. But the Real Madrid Di Maria and the PSG Di Maria are unbelievable. It's clear he's a part of Pochettino's plans because he started every game under the new manager, and in the last few seasons when the likes of Neymar and Mbappe have been injured or not in the team, Di Maria has stepped up and been absolutely incredible. One of the most unsung heroes in European football pretty much since he joined PSG 4 or 5 years ago. Anyway, at 32 years old, you may be thinking, I'm not sure Spurs are going to offer him a massive contract, a lot of money, a few years, this, that and the other. They did with Gareth Bale. It hasn't worked out for Bale, in all honesty. He hasn't seen his game any match fitness, the complete opposite of Di Maria, who's always fit, and it really means that Bale is struggling for form. So they could either bring him back again on another loan from Real Madrid, or they could sign Di Maria, similar age, similar ability, similar position, on a free transfer. I think out of the two, I'm not saying it is a direct, but to me it looks like it kind of is, a direct choice between Bale or Di Maria. I'm taking Di Maria every day. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving on though to the Premier League action last night, and we have another new leader. For the first time since September, Manchester City are top of the league. A 5-0 victory against West Brom, and Sam Allardyce's men are looking in very, very poor form. It was a stunning victory and only proved that Ilkay Gundogan is one of the best midfielders in the league, but there was also a lot of movement elsewhere in the league, and somehow, just when you think this Premier League season couldn't get any crazier, West Ham are up to 4th. A 3-2 victory at Crystal Palace meant David Moyes' men have had a perfect start to the new year, and with 6 wins out of 6 in all competitions, they're on absolute fire. By the way, Thomas Souček, signing of the season. I don't care what you say. I'm muting this conversation. I'm not really. You guys can let me know in the comments. That's more of a Twitter thing. Souček's unbelievable. 2 goals last night. The way he plays, the amount of times he's got on the score sheet, his ability in the centre of the park, both defensively and offensively, he is so good. But to some players who aren't very good, and that is Newcastle United. According to Steve Bruce, they're having their worst run of form in 20 years, which is astonishing, as they lost yet again last night to Leeds. Honestly, I don't want to rinse the guys who are underneath them, mainly Brighton, Fulham, West Brom, and who's the other one? Sheffield United. Newcastle on their worst run of form ever, and they're still 7 points clear of relegation. That just shows you how bad the bottom teams in the Premier League are. They are really in a massive struggle. Elsewhere though, in the Premier League as well, and Arsenal got rid of all the demons from their FA Cup defeat at Southampton to go back to the same stadium just a few days later and win 3-1. Now, I watched the game, I don't know if you guys did, Bukayo Saka, I just want to sit here and clap him for the rest of the video. The guy's brilliant. For such a young English player, it is fantastic to watch him play. Nicola Pepe had one of his better performances in an Arsenal shirt, but Saka was at the heart of everything good that Arsenal did. It really, really was an accomplished performance, as I say, for someone so young, and it's good for Arsenal and good for English football as well. Next up then, a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news, where German side Bayer Leverkusen have apparently agreed terms with Demarai Gray to sign him on a free in the summer. AC Milan defender Matteo Musacchio is completing his medicals today ahead of a move to Serie A rivals Lazio. Thomas Tuchel's first challenge at Chelsea, aside from the game against Wolves tonight, is to keep N'Golo Kante at the club and convince him that the French midfielder's future lies in West London. And last but not least, Aston Villa completed the £16 million signing of Morgan Sanson from Marseille, a very good midfielder. Villa mean business. I think that's a fantastic transfer. Finally then, we come to this week's great debate, where the OneFootball newsroom posed a question to all of you in the comments section below. You can find my answer, their answer in the relevant article in the OneFootball app. But for the comments section, we want to know, who is the worst Chelsea manager in the Roman Abramovich era? There have been some brilliant ones, a few crappy ones, but for me, Roberto Di Matteo. He's so lucky. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, he was a manager with West Brom, took them to the Premier League. After getting sacked about a year, he took a position as a coach, as an assistant manager to AVB. I felt like he did it because he knew AVB would eventually get sacked and then he'd get promoted from within. It was a little bit sneaky. That happened after 9 months. He took over in March, right? Quarterfinals of the Champions League, 5th round of the FA Cup. They won a few games by the skin of their teeth. Remember the Fernando Torres goal away at Barcelona? Remember the last-minute equaliser from Drogba in the Champions League final against Bayern, and then went to win on penalties. He completed the FA Cup and Champions League double. And you think like, oh, he must be a great manager. I can't help but feel he just had a good run of form. From when he took over in March to May, he had a good little run of form, just so happened to win 2 trophies by the skin of his teeth. And then a few months into the new season, his true colours showed. He's a terrible manager and he got fired. Since then, Schalke went downhill, so did that random spell at Aston Villa, and he hasn't been in management since I think 2016. So there we go, there's a rather seemingly aggressive answer to the great debate, but there have been so many good managers, I don't think Di Matteo is it. Anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts down below, check out everything else we've got going on OneFootball, and until next time, I will see you guys later.